All right, this is probably the most important video, the first thing you're probably going to ever learn how to do in Canvas, and something you're going to have to remember to do each semester. It's going to be very important. So we're talking about grades. So the whole point of trying to get a district LMS is that we have a single place where all parents, all students, all teachers, everyone all goes to the same place. Even though we might be using a whole bunch of other tools like Moodle and Google Classroom and other things like that, all of those things should integrate with this one LMS, and all assignments and everything should funnel through this one LMS. So this is where everybody will be going. Now we also have an SIS called PowerSchool, a student information system. And so we want our grades to actually go to PowerSchool, but really we want everybody to be checking their grades and showing their grades in Canvas. So the important thing is we don't want there to be two places for everybody to have to do everything. So we want to make sure that any grades and stuff that we do in Canvas just automatically goes to PowerSchool. And so we have that all hooked up and ready to go, but there's some things you always have to do to set up to make sure that your Canvas page is speaking to PowerSchool. So I'm in a course here, a college physics course, and one of the most important tabs over here is the assignments page. If you click on the assignments page, this is where you're going to see every assignment that you offer students. This is assignments that they actually maybe do in Canvas. It's any quizzes. Down here you see quizzes, but even the quizzes you make in here, you're going to make a category or an assignment group for every single assignment, quiz, or whatever you do. Even if, like my computer science program, they do a whole bunch of programs, and they actually submit them on GitHub, pull request them on GitHub. So they're not even in here, but I grade them, and I grade them on a separate little Google Sheet grade sheet. Even those I'm going to upload into Canvas. So even though there's no submission in here, there's going to be an assignment for everything I ever want to do, and I will just upload the grades into Canvas, which of course will automatically then go to PowerSchool. So this assignments page is incredibly important, and there are assignment groups. So right now, when you first come into your class, it's going to be defaulted at one assignment group that's called assignments, which is pretty obvious. So any assignments you would make right now would actually just go into this one group. So there's no assignments in this group right now, but you'd have a whole list of assignments all in this group. We can click plus group, and we can make another group, and we can make a whole bunch of different groups here, and we put all these different assignments into different groups. So in PowerSchool, they're not called assignment groups, they're called categories. You're probably familiar with that. So what we need to do is we need to go into PowerSchool, make sure we have the categories that we want right in PowerSchool, and we need to import those categories from PowerSchool into assignment groups into Canvas. This is actually a really easy process. I'm just making a long video here to make sure that we really understand what has to happen. So if you go to your PowerSchool, and I'm in like my last semester course, so I don't mess anything up, but if you click on the A+ grading, you have an assignment list, and I don't have any assignments in there. But if I click on this and we come to categories, most of you probably know where to find this and know how to do all this part of it. You can come down here and you can set up your traditional grade setup and all that kind of stuff. And if you do weighted grade by categories, you can have like test worth 30% and whatever. But you're going to click on your categories, and you're just going to, if you look at your categories here, now if I click on show inactive, there's several ones in here. So these little school buildings means they're district put in, like you didn't put them in. But you might have other ones in here that you don't use anymore, you don't want to use anymore. If you want to delete one of them, you can't delete this district-wide ones. But if you come in here and click on this editing over here, you can come down and click delete the category, and you can put in some new categories. If you want, click up here on create and do a new category. You want to make sure that you got all the categories in here that you want to actually import into Canvas. Your categories in PowerSchool need to match the categories in Canvas. That is the number one rule. That's the important thing. So at the beginning of the semester, you'll get your categories all set up in PowerSchool the way you want them, and then it'll be just an easy transfer over. So I have two categories. I'm going to not show any. I have two categories: Jedi Training and Jedi Trials. Jedi Training is going to be or Jedi Trials is going to be all my assessments. They're basically tests. And Jedi Training is all the other things they do to prepare for their tests. So my Jedi Trials are basically 100% of the grade. Jedi Training, homework, e-labs, all kinds of programs, everything like that. It's 0%. Now they have to actually do it to be able to open up a Jedi Trial, but it's 0% of their grade. So these are my two categories that I want to do. I have everything good. I can, if you click on one of these, you can, or edit one of these, you can come up here. It says limit this category to these classes. So mine says all classes, but you can come here and you can select which classes you want those categories to be for, and click Save. So you just got to make sure your categories are correct in PowerSchool, and probably you already have them all in. I mean, they're probably already in there. That's probably not a problem. I just want to make sure we checked and looked at that. Okay, so now I go back to my course in Canvas, and what we want to do is we want to come up here to the three dots, and we're going to do import assignment groups. Now in Canvas they're called assignment groups. In PowerSchool they're called categories. So don't be confused that it doesn't say import categories from PowerSchool. I haven't been able to figure out how to maybe change text on this like I could used to do in Moodle. I don't think I probably can, but anyway, this is what you want to click, and see this symbol right here, by the way, this little paper with the arrow. That symbol is going to be, when we import the categories, that symbol is going to be next to the categories. That symbol is important. That means they're coming from, or they're going to be going to PowerSchool. Any things that I put in this assignment group right here will never go to PowerSchool, because this is not a thing that I have in PowerSchool, and there's no symbol right next to it. So I'm going to just come down here. I'm going to do import assignment groups, and that's it. It says success. We have received your request to import assignment categories. Click to see progress. Now you might ask, how does it know where to go and get them? Well, the whole point of Canvas is that it's now synced to PowerSchool anyway. So when the counselors and everybody puts all the courses, loads them into PowerSchool, now they actually will get loaded into Canvas too. So you no longer have to enroll your students in your course every single semester. You'll just go into Canvas and there's your course. You'll see it. Now you'll be able to publish your course and get it going, and you'll have to basically copy over your stuff from each semester, which that sounded really bad. It's just a matter of import. You just import from last semester, and your whole course then gets copied over into your new shell. And you'll have all your students in there. You don't enroll students anymore like we did in Moodle or anything like that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to refresh the page and see if they're okay, they're already in here. So sometimes it takes, I don't know. I haven't really, sometimes it's gone like instantly. Sometimes it's taken a little bit longer. Normally you have to refresh the page to see if they came in. So now I got these two categories. Now this category up here, the assignments category, the default assignments category, I'm going to delete that because there's no point in using that. Unless you have some assignments that you want to always just throw in there, and never, they're not going to go to PowerSchool ever. So if you ever want to delete a whole bunch of assignments at a time, I'm going to show you this trick real quick. Create a new group, call it like delete, and save it. So now I got another assignment category here, because you can come up here and you can like click the three arrows and you can move contents, and you can actually move all the contents. I don't think it'll do anything right now because I don't have anything in here, but if you click move content, you can move all the assignments that you want into the delete, and then you come down here and you delete this category, and it will delete all those assignments at once. So sometimes people are going to get confused about, how do I delete all 5 of these assignments? That'd be the trick. Okay, so now anything that's in Jedi Training will go to the Jedi Training category in PowerSchool. Anything in Jedi Trials will sync to there. Okay, so how do we sync? Well, you don't have to sync. Every night at 1 o'clock, we have it set up to do a sync for everybody. So if you can just let it go, at 1 o'clock, they'll all sync. Now, sometimes your students will get a little jumpy on that, and you take a test during the day, and they want to know right away what it's going to look like and stuff. So what you can do is if you go to your grades, and up in actions, this is your grade sheet. I don't have any grades in here, but you'll see my categories are in there now. If you go to actions, you can do sync to SIS. So when you do that, it says there's already a job. Okay, so yeah, I've already been playing around with this. So that's gonna go ahead and sync. It'll sync your grades, and that does not take very long either. That'll happen, I think. The latest I think I've seen is like about 10 minutes, I think, when they go on into PowerSchool. And then you can go check the PowerSchool and see. Normally, once you've synced something, it'll take you to this grade sync page. It'll look like this, okay? And see, there we go. So I have a grade sync already going. It's waiting, and it's going to find stuff. And actually, I'm not sure what this is going to do because I don't have any assignments or grades to do it. So one thing you want to do in here, by the way, is come into your, so when you click on your grade sync, come up to settings. Here's one thing you got to do. You got to actually turn on that nightly sync. So you're going to click on that and turn that on. And so yours will now nightly sync. So it's not actually going to nightly sync at 1 o'clock unless you made sure that you came to your grade sync and you turned that on. So you'll want to do that. I didn't have it on because this is actually an old course of mine, so I'm not going to worry about it anymore. So you got to come into grade sync. You got to turn on your nightly sync. Otherwise, you can always go to grades, and right up here in the actions, you can do sync to SIS. SIS is School Information System or Student Information System, which is our PowerSchool for us. It's Infinite Campus for a lot of other schools around us, but pretty much Infinite Campus and PowerSchool are all the SIS is for pretty much all the Des Moines things. I think I'm not sure anybody's using anything else, but. Probably. Okay, so that's how that works. That's what you have to do to get your categories, PowerSchool categories, into the assignment groups in your assignments folder. And then whenever you make an assignment at any time, you're going to want to put them into one of these categories. For the Moodle users, if we're going to still use some of our Moodle assignments, like I'm going to, you actually can import them from Moodle directly into here pretty quickly also, but you're going to actually have to set these categories up into Moodle too, which I'll show the Moodle users in some other videos. But if you're not a Moodle user, you don't have to worry about any of that. Hopefully that makes sense, and hope this video wasn't terribly too long.